Welcome back, They Fired Us family. This is an official continuation to episode 12, part 1. Let's get into part 2. Hope you guys continue to enjoy. Peace, tranquility. Roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility. Roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility.
Yeah.
Roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility. Roll up the weed and get high. And that's what pisses me off most. Is the fact that you're willing to say, yeah, we killed your daughter, we killed your wife, and that's a whole nother podcast of what they have her boyfriend or husband, I don't want to get it mistaken, but what they have him going through right now. That's a whole nother episode. But the fact that you're just basically, like you said, hush money. Yeah, we killed her, but here's money.
Yeah.
What about that? Like the white lady that bumped into one of the officers that was involved with George Floyd, bumped into him in a supermarket, just regularly walking around. What if Breonna Taylor's family walks into or cross paths with those officers? Who wants to live like that? The fact that that's even a thought, the fact that you could possibly walk by your family member's murderer and know that everyone knows what they did, but still nothing is done. Do you think 12 million can cover that pain? Do you think 12 million is gonna, I'm gonna speak for me and me only, because I don't wanna incriminate nobody, but God forbid anybody in my family gets that done to them and I walk past that person, do you really think $12 million is gonna make me forget? No, forget that money. I walk past that person not gonna be here no more.
Of course. Like
That's
no,
crazy.
yeah, exactly. No money's gonna be able to make you sleep well at night, man. No money's gonna make you. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like none. None. We watched Rayshard Brooks and Ahmaud Arbery get executed, and I just want to say that with all these videos, I purposefully did not watch any of them. However, when you're scrolling through social media, sometimes videos start without you even having to pause it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you see pictures. So you get the whole gist. You don't even have to watch the video. You get every scene that you need to see, even though you don't want to see it. And to watch what happened to those two, you know, and I can't even say, especially Ahmaud Arbery, because dying to racism, dying to police brutality is the same. You know, there's no one that's greater than, the next. You know, and we just talked about, we could only imagine how their families are doing. Imagine having to go on social media and seeing these things over and over. Imagine having to go on YouTube or another platform or a blog or something like that and seeing, or the newspaper, just for general, and seeing these things be talked about for people just to profit off of your family member. You know, imagine how that makes you feel. You know? Imagine if your last words were, for an example, Ahmaud Arbery, please be safe. Imagine if your Ahmaud Arbery, Rayshard Brooks, I love you. Please be safe out there. You never know the last word. You never know the conversation. You just never know. So just look what happens. You know? Look what happens, you know? And this is why I went back and I said people have to be sensitive. We cannot have this negative comments and trolling when a situation happens, because we do not know what people are going through. And then when you go through a situation, you want everybody to be empathetic with you. You want everybody to show you some kind of love and something like that. No, it doesn't work out like that. It doesn't, man. You know? And we started the year with this.
Very true.
You know, everybody, oh, Happy New Year 2020. Oh, this month. Boom, this happens.
I don't even think there was 1 month that was enjoyed in 2020.
No, there wasn't 1 month that was enjoyable in 2020, man. Not one. You probably had 2 days where you're like, you know? And then it just goes back to the regular scheduled program, bro.
Only thing I'm gonna add is I'll save it for that. I'll save it for that. My bad. I'll save it for that.
All right. Write it down. Don't forget it. Don't be like, don't be like me in the other episodes. You know, oh, I forgot. You know, never mind, etc., etc. So we have Oliver Toyin, and then we have Vanessa Gillian, and I wanted to kind of separate these two at the end. I kind of mentioned Breonna Taylor, you know, even though she is a female like these two other queens, but I kept Breonna Taylor in this because she was killed due to police brutality. All right, Oliver Toyin and Vanessa weren't, you know, and this is why we always preach about mental health. This is exactly why we preach every single day, and we sound like a broken record. And our own YouTubes, people probably ignore it because they don't want to hear this conversation. But it's a conversation that needs to be had. You know, Oliver Toyin was raped. You know, and when you first heard that she was raped, you know, the first thing I'll play ignorant. You know, I didn't think it was a black person. But to hear that it was is like.
And to hear that it was somebody who reached back out because she reached out for help. So you take this queen, and I know, and I hope this don't come out the wrong way, but I know that that's the new term. You want to uplift each other and say kings and queens, right? But this for me was beyond that term. To hear her age and the work that she was doing, the honest work that she was doing to further the cause of not only protecting, not only uplifting, but fighting for, demanding for Black people and giving Black people what they need and deserve. And the fact that in her time of need, she reaches out and somebody else takes advantage of that vulnerable time to do what they did.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, my fault.
No, I was just saying, like, that's crazy.
We have Vanessa Gillian. You know, we always repeat throughout this whole episode about flowers, giving them what, you know, and just honoring people. We definitely we really do sympathize with their families and friends, even though we do not know them. You know, what happened to Vanessa should have stirred up a whole new regiment within the army. It should have stirred a whole new. It should have been a call of action. All right.
The outrage should have been.
But to hear that there are similar stories, to Vanessa about being harassed, about sexual harassment, about assault, which is the same thing that kind of happened to Oluwatune. This is why I put them two together. They're all victims of sexual abuse. You know, Vanessa, this queen, beautiful. You know, Oluwatune, beautiful. These things should not be happening. To have a guy and his girl, or some other girl, I don't even know the whole gist of that, because that just seemed fishy to me. But man, you guys had the audacity to chop up her body. You guys had the audacity to chop up her body because she told you no. And her family has to live with that. And then it's different from the other deaths that we talked about, because the cops are still out there, right? The cops are still out there, right? So they're still alive. He killed himself. So what justice do they get? Ain't no cash settlement gonna help them. If they was to get 12 million like Breonna Taylor's family, it ain't gonna help them because he killed himself. So there's no justice in that.
And let's also highlight the fact that I forgot how it got public, but if it would have never got public, who knows if they would have even did anything behind it? Because the fact that it became public is how knowledge of throughout the whole, I'm just gonna say the whole army. I don't care if it's one specific part. I'm gonna just say the whole army. The fact that this is happening throughout the whole army and is looked at. I don't know if you've seen a lot of these comments that I was saying when it happened, but there was a lot of women
I saw a lot of it.
Who were saying, who were actually not even talking remorseful, as messed up as it sounds. Basically, they were saying that the army is a boys' club and these things happen if you want to be welcome in the boys' club. So basically, it's a known thing. Like, you're gonna get hit on, you're gonna get harassed, they're gonna try to touch you, they're gonna try to have sex with you, and if you don't have sex with them, you're gonna get demoted or something or whatever. The fact that it's a known thing happening, and not just like a low thing, the uppers know about it because it happens on every level. And the fact that this is, I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna go crazy, but I'm gonna do it. This is one of the factors that outraged the whole America when Kaepernick took a knee, because they try to say that he was disrespecting the flag, and in turn he was disrespecting the men and women that fight for us. Y'all not even protecting the men and women that's fighting for us. This is the very thing that y'all try to use to defend everything. Oh, these are veterans. They fight for your freedoms. They fight for your rights. They fight for this. They fight for that. How am I supposed to believe that now? When somebody who was in that organization, somebody who stood for something and what they believe that organization was about, is not here no more because of something that happens
Facts.
all the time.
Like, it really, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I definitely know that she didn't deserve that. You know, to fighting for her life. You know, it took two people. You know, so I definitely know that she was fighting, and he couldn't handle her. You know, because if it took two people, then that obviously says there was some kind of struggle.
It was him. The story is that it was him and his girlfriend. That
Yeah. So
they did.
it, I don't know if the girlfriend is still alive. I don't know. I don't know about that situation. I don't know. Um, the only visual that's coming to my mind right now is um, when the mother and I think the sister, if I'm not mistaken, were speaking, and they couldn't even talk. They were just bawling, you know. And once again, I said it's sad because the media is going to take that and have their own party with it, you know, and they have to go back home, you know, with with that with that sentiment. You know, people go into the army because one, financial issues, and the army promises, you know, to cover, you know, school, et cetera, et cetera. So that's probably what happened when Vanessa went into the army. She probably was happy. She probably was excited. You know, she saw, you know, a way to not only become more disciplined and more time to get organized, and but is we a way for her to figure out what she wanted to do in life if she didn't know, and help America at the same time, you know? And this stuff happens.
My bad. I've been searching to see if there's any updated information on his girlfriend because they have her name here, but it's not really saying on what happened to her.
But she's still alive, or they're not even saying?
Mm, it's not even saying. What I found is on ABC News is basically just talking about the guy.
All right, all right.
But it does mention that he did have an accomplice, which was his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course. You know, just to spin the narrative. You know.
He was 20 years old, man. Like, I don't want to sound whatever right now, but I just turned 30. So it's different. It's different hearing 20 now.
I mean, it's not.
My fault. I never realized how young 20 is. Like, you're really still a kid at 20.
I mean, if you want to go there, look at the kid who got shot in Bed-Stuy. Like, if you wanna go there, you know, just off of innocent, you know, like that kid wasn't even what, 3, bro. Like,
If I'm not mistaken, I believe they arrested the person who did it.
yeah, but I mean,
Let's just.
that's the whole that, that's the whole purpose of this episode.
Nice.
Yo, like if people would think about what they did before they did it, we wouldn't be in this situation. Or because you mad about a situation, you gonna run up on a, like, you gonna run up and shoot. You know what I'm saying? And you know, not caring who you hit.
What happened to these, man? Like, what happened to these, man? Like, what happened to these, man?
And it goes back to the Vanessa situation because she said no. Because she said no, you know, that you feel it's okay to do what you do. You know, we said on several episodes already. If a girl says no, okay, cool, peace. See you later, man. Like, I'm not stressing it, bro. Like, I'm not.
It just bugs me. I was like, you have a girlfriend, so you try to approach somebody else. They deny you as they have all right to do,
Hmm?
and you in turn, you and your girlfriend killed this woman and chopped her body.
Executed her, pretty much. Pretty much. Like that totally makes sense. It
And I've
makes sense.
said this before, but that's a different kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I heard that he was harassing her like all the time. Like he was harassing her. Like he would ask to meet her, like meet up with her. You know, when even when she didn't have to report to him. You know, so um, our condolences to the family and also to any other person who was in the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Forces, doesn't matter, you know, who experienced something similar to this. You know, any kind of form of harassment is a no-go. You know, we even did an episode on sexual harassment, you know, so you know how strongly we feel about it.
They're not like adding her to. There's like no update on what happened to her at all. So I'm not sure.
Wow. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Uh, it we we will try our best to keep you updated with that news. I can attest to not doing any research on it, so but I will, and I'll get back to you and let you know. Um,
The rest of the names is there's unfortunately and sadly there's a lot more names and this year isn't even over. But continuing with that theme of flowers, we do want to actually, give flowers to those that we lost before,
Definitely.
before 2020, man. There's a lot of names, so I'm gonna go through the names, and you stop me whenever you want to stop. And
No, no, no. Go ahead, go ahead. Just read off the names. You know, it's a lot of names. If anybody knows a name that we didn't include, please comment it below. Please comment it below so we can show some respect to them. You know.
definitely, man. First and foremost, giving out flowers and also rest in peace to all the kings and queens that we, been talking about thus far, and that we're gonna continue to talk about. Kendrick, Kendrick McDade, Oscar Grant, Tamla Horsford. Hopefully, I said that correctly. Amadou Diallo. A lot of our viewers. Hopefully, you guys, not hopefully, but that was a situation that a lot of people, remember. As it was kind of big.
Yeah.
Um,
He was shot at 41 times.
41 times.
Yeah, that's like in, insane. You know.
And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say I heard them saying that they were going to do a movie about Sean Bell.
I can't second that. I have no idea.
If I'm not mistaken. XXX Tentacion. I don't have too much to say. I really only know one body of work that I still listen to this day, but that doesn't really attest to the whole catalog. So I won't, pretend like I do know the whole catalog or even his whole impact because I wasn't, in tune the same way I was with other artists. But it does seem like he, it seemed like he had a lot of love out there. That's the best way for me to say. He had a lot of love out there, touched a lot of hearts. So, definitely somebody that was doing great things. Nipsey Hussle, man. You see my brother over here got the blue do-rag on. That's that Nipsey blue.
I
Nipsey
mean,
taught me my fault. Nipsey taught me something that I never thought I would be able to see while I'm alive, and that's 100% facts. I done seen people like Fat Joe. I done a lot of famous people. I didn't meet a lot. That's not what I'm saying. But Nipsey was the first time where I seen somebody who didn't change the way they talk, didn't change the way he walked, didn't change his morals. He didn't change his beliefs. He didn't change anything that he stood on. And he still showed you the things that you can do coming from the environment that he came from, coming from that gang life that he came from. People would like to give props to Joe Buttons. People like to give props to Charlemagne the God. People like to give props to Noriega. I want to give props to Nipsey because ownership is where I learned. The first time I learned about ownership was from Nipsey Hussle. It was, and no disrespect to anybody else, but it wasn't none of the names that I mentioned. It wasn't none of the people that's going hard now saying that they opened up a lane. The person that I heard talking about that was Nipsey Hussle. The person who didn't go to Fifth Avenue, the person who didn't go to Rodeo Drive. No, he bought I forget the technical term for it, but he bought property in his community.
Or the
Multiple.
shopping mall, the shopping mall.
Yeah, the shopping mall. He bought that. He didn't go to Beverly Hills, or he bought property in his community and gave people from his community jobs and was involved with the community. Now, I know some say that maybe too involved, and that's why he was easily accessible. But I'm not gonna say that because he gave hope, and the hope that he gave is different from hope that other people gave. Because, like I said, it was the first time that he didn't just. It wasn't somebody just talking. Everything that he talked about, there was action behind it. One of my favorite interviews is where he says, I went through every single emotion when it comes to chasing my dreams. The only, and I'm probably messing up what he said, but
No, you're not. So far, you're not.
the only difference between him and everyone else is that he didn't stop. He kept going. And that's something
That's exactly what he said.
that's something that I try to keep with me. Just don't stop. No matter what, don't stop.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times you try to figure out in your head like how you're gonna get there. You know, the question when, you know, pops in your head. You know, it comes to everybody. You know, but we have to realize that our time is coming now. It will be it, it will be I don't know, man. Nipsey's death hurt me. Um, you know, when people die, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about you don't know that person and yada yada. And despite all the conspiracy theories out there, you know that's one person that I wanted to meet. You know, when they give you the question on the interview, like dead or alive, like who would you want to meet, you know, or yada yada yada. You know, Nipsey Hussle is one of those people, you know, and I always say this, like outside of my father, you know, he's that one person that actually inspired me. You know, this actually like go time. You know, and I remember hearing him and then seeing him and Gary V do an interview, or heard Gary V talk about Nipsey. And it's almost like it's almost like the the term in marketing, you have to see things 7 times in order to grab it, in a sense. And it was similar to that. You know, it's almost like the law of attraction. You know, like when you talk about something, then you start seeing it. You know, it's kind of one of those things. Like I heard about Nipsey, excuse me, and then I saw the Gary V, and I'm like, wait, what's that? And then um, mixtape came out, excuse me, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I listened back to Gary Vee again, and he did an interview with Nipsey, and I'm just like, oh, okay, let me look into this Nipsey guy and see what. So all about. And, you know, from the first track, I'm just like, wow. And then every single day at work, I'm like, play Nipsey, play Nipsey, play Nipsey, play Nipsey. And of course, they ignore me and then play Nipsey, you know, but I would listen to Nipsey every single day. It was,
He don't got clean music. That was
yeah,
every morning.
yeah. It was to the point where I had to stop listening to him, you know, because it was just like too overwhelming, you know. And to to see people who are similar ages to you and to know that they went through, I wouldn't, I'm not going to say similar struggles, but they have been through adversity and they overcome and they overcame it, kind of gives you promise for your future. Role models. You had Nipsey. You had a Kobe. For some people, you had a Pop Smoke. You know, um, who's to say? Who's to even say? For some people, they had they had Breonna Taylor. You know, for 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 Vanessa's family, they they had her. You know, as an inspiration for for the activist Oliver Tunde. They had other girls who were part of the whole Black Life Matter movement. You know, and you know, it just hurts for Elijah McCain. It was the people he worked with that he inspired. So we come into something, and it's just like heartbreaking. You know, we went through Triple X, and that shocked the world. You know, according to Desmond, I wasn't also I wasn't the biggest fan.
Yeah.
What I liked about him though was that he understood vibrations and he understood energy and he understood music. And the music was on a certain frequency, you
I was
know,
gonna ask you about that. I'm glad you're talking about it.
and he said that he's changing the frequency in his music because he knows that that frequency is not it's not good. The frequency is five it's 440. So
Yeah.
that's the frequency that most music, secular music as they want to call it, is programmed to. And he wants to change it so the vibration of the of his music can be different. And we're we're losing people that have big impacts, you know, and have potential for bigger impacts. You know, we had Triple X, you know, followed by Nipsey Hussle, followed by Kobe Bryant, you know, and it's just like, holy crap. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, you know, Triple X, boom, his impact. Then you had Nipsey Hussle, his impact. Then you had Kobe Bryant. It's like, come on, son. Come on.
Oh, I forgot to mention Juice WRLD.
I mean, yeah, we also had Juice WRLD who had a big impact, you know, and has touched the lives of so many people, you know.
I just hope that this is what I was gonna say earlier. I just hope that everybody, as in the world, keeps the energy. Cause I don't think, and I don't know all the facts. This man right here knows way more than I do. So I don't know all the facts. I don't know if anything's ever gonna get to a normal. I don't even know if there's a normal to get back to. But when things calm down in a sense, I hope that all of these people who've been, fighting and praising and do all of these reposting about, uplifting each other and things like that. I just hope everybody keeps that same energy and continues that on throughout the years, because it can't keep happening like this, man. We can't keep letting them, they, as Khaled would say, can't keep taking the people that we hold close to us. Like,
Well, like I always tell you, I don't use the word hope because I feel like it's negative. I think it gives a false narrative. Um, I think I think instead of saying, well, for me personally, instead of saying hope, I say pray, or I use the word faith because it just gives a fake. You know, um, it's funny too because I'm actually saying this because I had this same thought when I was in the shower, and Gemini's are weird. All right, so shut up. Um, most Geminis can attest that we have thought process in our head, so we can formulate like paragraphs in our head, and we already have it memorized, and it's kind of easier for us to articulate, or it's it's easier for us to make sense of things when when we do it that way. So as it relates to what I just said or what I'm saying, that's right. I was in the shower and I had the same conversation in my head that I'm saying right now. Hope is negative because it it gives you a false belief that something is going to happen. It's almost like when you were like a little kid and you had a crush on a guy or girl and you were like, oh, I hope she likes me. I hope he likes me. And then when you had the courage to go ask them out, or to give you that, or to give them that letter, the yes or no with the boxes, it was already no, you know. And I think that using that word hope just shouldn't be used. It should be scratched from our yeah, so we scratched that from our vocabulary. Like, and a prime example for me, and I know I'm going to get a backlash, a lot of backlash from it, is Obama. Obama's whole campaign was about hope. And what happened for Black people? There was no, there was no, hope. Hope is like our promise. You know what I'm saying? It kind of go hand in hand. They're they're not they're not action words. So to
yeah,
go to go back to what you said, it's gonna take a lot of more work than saying, I hope that we can get back together. I could hope we could all um unify, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's funny that you said that, you hope things will get back to normal because we just um I won't use the word celebrate, but we just came across we we just gave respect to the people who lost their lives on 9/11. And when 9/11 happened, it was, oh, kumbaya, you know
yeah,
let's show our respects. And then, as I always say, it went back to its regular scheduled program. But
yeah, that's very true.
yeah. So I mean, personally speaking, I don't think things are going to go back to the way they used to be. We rolled over to a new year, so it's a new what's the word I'm going to use this word. It's a new algorithm that we have to get accustomed to.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I see that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Man, this is just I don't want to keep repeating myself, man, but it's crazy. Trayvon Martin, Sandra
yeah.
Bland.
Let's stop and talk about Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland, because, and I'll make it quick. All right, we need to keep on talking about these people.
It's
And go
uh,
ahead,
no, no,
go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm on the way to you.
You, you, you know, um, we have seen the mockery of the killer, and I'm not going to mention his name because I'm not going to give him any light of day. However, and we mentioned on another episode on the podcast anyway. You know, he's still alive, and he's almost like he's almost like a D-list, a celebrity now, or a public figure now. So I mean, go figure. And then you have everybody screaming Breonna Taylor when Sandra Bland was almost 6 years ago and still hasn't received justice.
Nothing.
Her family hasn't received a settlement or anything like that, and they had the audacity to take her mugshot when she was already dead.
That's the
Like, 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 how do you take somebody's mugshot when they're already dead, and you try to cover it up as if like, like she was already dead? Like, is video? You dragged out the police car, all because she knew her rights, all because she was asking you why you stopping, all because of your pride and ego. you know. And I believe that all these people we mentioned need justice, you know. And I'm gonna, yeah, I'm done.
First with Trayvon, I'm not gonna say his name as well. I feel like I mentioned that a million times. But what I will say, and we apologize beforehand because I know my brother here doesn't like when I talk this way. The fact that he's still alive, the fact that he's still alive, still breathing, while we're still out here having pointless beef, taking out people for nothing, for wrong looks, for being in the wrong place, for looking a certain way. That's what people are doing. Hurting innocent bystanders and using the excuse of I'm angry and I'm hurt and this is what they doing to us. When you still have a man that's profiting, not only is he free and doing no jail time, he's profiting and living. Like, you know how crazy that is, bro? Like, as I'm saying it out loud now, like he's profiting off of a life that he took.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And he's still alive and breathing. We all know the Jay-Z line. But still, nobody has the heart or the audacity to take out the ones that deserve to be taken out.
Yo, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't have the answers. It seems like I don't know. I don't know if he has bodyguards. I don't know the situation. However, it's I feel like we keep on saying the same thing, and the general concise is this is the sad reality that we have to live in today. This is what we have to deal with. This is what we have to teach, our kids growing up, or the younger generation behind us, which is sad.
Tamir Rice, this year, not that long ago, white kid shoots 2 protesters with a rifle.
Yeah, his name was Kyle.
Yeah, that guy. Walks like nothing. Cops don't look at him as a threat. The gun is real. The gun is real. Not looked at as a threat. Not even looked at twice while he's walking past. But you got a little kid with a toy gun who couldn't even enjoy being a kid. You're more threatened by the color of some, and this was said before, you're more threatened by the color of somebody's skin versus somebody who's a visible threat to you with a weapon. That's all I want to say with the Tamir Rice thing, man. That's
Yeah, I don't have anything to say, bro.
Alton Sterling. I remember this vividly because this is what sparked me to create the song that I had created when that particular thing was going on. It goes back to something that I've said previously. There's always a negative thing being put out when it comes to people of color. They're thugs, they're this, they're that, they're aggressive, X, Y, and Z. And when you have somebody that's abiding the law, giving you everything that you asked for, and done nothing wrong, you take that man's life. For me, it's like a catch-22. If I'm this angry, aggressive hood guy, then I'm everything that you assume me to be. But if I'm not, it's still not enough reason for you not to look at me the way you do. So what do people of color, like, what choice do we have at this point besides arming up ourselves and going the route of being militant in order to protect ourselves because nobody else is doing it? What choice do we have when you're killing a kid for having a toy gun? When you're letting a white kid with a real gun walk past you? When you shoot someone because you feel like they're not listening to you while they're in the car with their wife, with their child?
That was the most disheartening part of it, because the daughter has to grow up, and every time she thinks about her dad, she has to revisit that about her dad dying in a car. And this is how you know that they don't care about us, in the words of Michael Jackson. And just to show you that another reason that exemplifies and also emphasizes that we don't come from hate. We don't come from hate. We come from love. We come from celebrations. We come from spirituality. We come from healing. We come from peace. We come from tranquility. We don't come from hatred. It's not, our ancestors did not hate each other, and those cops, each of those cops and their bloodline come from a place of hate. They come from a place of hatred, brutality, evil, conditioning. I'm going to use that word, conditioning. I was going to use brainwash, but I think a better term is conditioning. So that's where they come from.
I want to say something real quick, just because I feel like I need to say it, man. Because I know the reason why I wanted to do this in particular. But I also want to say that it's sad that this is something that needs to be done in order to show love to people. I want to say that it's sad that there's even, and I know there's way more names than what I'm looking at. And throughout this whole show, that's been stuck in my brain. The fact that there's way more names than we have mentioned and that we even have here. And there's
Yeah,
only, if not none at all, there's only justice for a handful.
yeah, it's funny too that you said that. I saw a post yesterday on Instagram. This guy had a tailored suit, and it had every name written, and not a name not a name they repeat on the suit. If I could find it again, I'll send it to you. But it was a tailored suit, black, and it had white names, and everybody's names were police brutality. All the names on it were people who died to police brutality. It was insane, and to think that there's that many people, it's like, wait, huh? To fill up a whole suit?
Yeah,
It's insane.
that's crazy, man. Atiana Jefferson, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Atiana Jefferson. Aurora Rosser, hopefully I said that last name correctly. Stephen Clark, Botham Jean, Fernando Castile, Fernando Castile. I believe I mixed up Fernando Castile and Alton Sterling. Fernando Castile was in a car with his wife and his daughter, correct?
Repeat that. Sorry.
I think I mixed up Alton Sterling and Fernando Castile. I believe Fernando Castile was in his car with his wife and daughter. Alton Sterling was.
Yeah. Just the names mixed up, but just those two. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, I mixed those up, but Alton Sterling is 37 years old. This happened July 5th, 2016. He was shot dead at close range by two Baton Rouge Police Department officers. I wanted to say that just because I did mix them up. Everything that I said still stands just with Fernando Castile, Michelle Cossix,
Kuzix. It looks like Kuzix.
Cool 6. Freddie Gray, we all know that Freddie Gray situation. I even had to just something brief. When the whole Freddie Gray situation happened, I even had to I guess check myself. I'm a big fan of battle rap, and almost immediately after the Freddie Gray situation happened, a lot of people referenced it in battle rap, using it in lines and stuff like that. And it was the first time that I really, really had to sit and check myself and really think about the things that I was viewing as far as entertainment and what people use when it comes to entertainment. I know
Yeah.
that's a whole nother discussion, a whole nother podcast, but that is something that I want to talk about in the future. Just people just not capitalizing on certain things because of the effect.
Yeah. Facts. So the guy of the person who I was describing who wore the suit, his name is Derrick Henry. He's a running back that plays for the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. So shout outs to you for doing that. We give you your flowers for that. But yeah, you definitely do have a point, man. The question is just, when is all of this gonna stop? And it seems like history really is repeating itself.
Um,
And
I was gonna my bad, I was gonna show the camera, but I'll put the picture in so the people can see it.
all right. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. I mean, listen, there's so many names on here, bro. Like, you we have Michael Brown, that was a sad situation. The media threw up all these kind of accusations. Saying he was a thug, he stole from the store, yada yada. We have Eric Garner who's put in a chokehold. You know, and and even when the chokehold has been banned, we still have officers using the chokehold on people. You know, um,
Without a care in the world, too.
without a care in the world. You know, um, I've been thinking about this name for the longest. He passed away a few years ago, a couple years ago. I think it was 2 or 3. Fight Dog, Fight Dog from A Tribe Called Quest.
Fight
He was battling diabetes for the longest. You definitely deserve your flowers for everything that you have done, and everybody knows. If you know me, one of my favorite groups ever is A Tribe Called Quest. Like, fucking love for Tribe Called Quest, man. Like, love. And that was sad. That was sad. Sad to hear. We also have forgot his name. He passed away. He played on the Blazers, the Portland Blazers. I got his name right. He passed away this year. Rest in peace to him. Hold on, let's find his name.
I'm looking for it right now.
So we can honor him with the respect that he needs. Can't believe I'm like.
Was it a white guy?
No, a black guy. Clifford Robinson. That's his name.
That's crazy that when I look it up, the only person they acknowledge is Zach Cooper.
No. That was a while ago. Yeah, Clifford Robinson. He passed away. Yeah. So rest in peace to him. And there's so many great artists. There's so many great entrepreneurs. There's so many great athletes that we don't even know of. Who have passed away. And we just want to give flowers and honor you too. I wanna not digress for a minute. I know that the time limit. We might have to break this down to 2, but I want to also dedicate this episode to the Black mothers, or the Black soon-to-be mothers, or the Black women who lost their life in the hospitals, because that's been happening a lot. And that's almost the number one killer of death within a Black community. Along with abortion. The these these women are trusting the doctors to execute the right procedure during birth. And even if they have health condition and complaining to the doctor, it's being left on deaf ears, and they don't care. And we want to dedicate this to you guys. You guys are in our prayers. We are praying for you. We're praying for your families. Also, the essential workers who have died, overworked, being put in hazardous conditions. You know, I can only imagine your story.
Not
If you're watching this, oh, my fault. Sorry. If you're watching this and you have a story that you would like to share with us, um, just email us at theyfiredus at gmail, theyfiredus at gmail, and we would love to have you on an episode to talk about your experience, your situation, how has this affected you, your coworkers, your family, close friends, etc. Um, if you having trouble emailing us, you can find us on Instagram or on Twitter. They find us. You can also, if you can't find us there, you can find us on our regular platforms. You can find me on Instagram at Take It Easy Tiger NY, Take It Easy Tiger NY, and you can find my friend at
Desmond Bonnet, man. I know it's plain and simple, just Desmond Bonnet.
yeah. Links will be located in the description. Also, I know there's been a few MTA workers that have passed away during this whole time. So we send our condolences out to you as well. There's been a lot of death, unexpected death that has been happening, and we want to shed light on everybody. So if there's somebody that we forgot, please comment their name. Please let us know. There's so many great people who have passed away. I think there were a few other within the last couple of years, there were a few actors that passed away too, and I know that I'm forgetting your name. So please forgive me. Please forgive my friend um, for forgetting your name. Also maybe if we remember the names, we'll just comment it. We just comment it ourselves. Just to show respect. In that manner. Yeah.
That was well said, man. Like I keep repeating, man, it's sad that it's so many names, and it's sad that no matter how long we may talk, we still might not possibly get through all the names. And
Yeah.
that has been staying in my brain not only through this episode, but just every day, is the fact that there's so many names. And I know that death is the one thing that's for sure in life. I know that's the one thing that everybody knows for a fact is gonna happen. We don't know when, but we know it's gonna happen. But when you actually sit down, and if you're someone that might not be able to take it, then I'd strongly recommend you to not do it. Because I didn't even recommend myself to do it, but I still did it. When you sit down and actually start visually seeing the names, just to attest to what Lade preaches all the time about writing things down, and it makes sense more. But in this sense, to see all of the names and realize the length of it. Some websites there's booklets and the amount of pages that you're clicking, and it's still just names, names, names. I don't know how someone can look at that and then still go out and still want to hurt someone, still want to wish hurt on someone, or still want to see someone hurt. I don't care how old I am. I don't care how many gruesome, crazy things I see. That's something that I'm never gonna be able to get used to, because this is death.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're still alive, thank God. So I can't answer certain questions. So we don't know. Well, I don't know what happens after death. But those people are not here anymore. And it's up to people like me, people like Lade, people like you guys who are watching. It's up to us to make sure we continue fighting, for the simple fact that when someone dies, in my opinion, it should be from natural causes. It should never be from someone taking their life, especially when there's not even a justified reason, even though there's probably never justify the reason for death when it comes to, in that sense.
Yeah, of course.
Really wanted to say that because, like I said, like we talked about, doing this, and I wanted to do the episode to pay homage and pay respect. But you just can't get away from the sadness of the fact that it's just there's so many names, man, and like Lade said, the names that we remember, we definitely will put it down below, and we want you guys to do that. Just to end on a more, I don't even know if I want to do it. I don't even feel right doing it. Announce the giveaway, but I don't know if I feel right after all of that.
If anybody's interested in a giveaway, and we hate to turn the page, but you could read the description. We'll put it in the description. This episode we won't mention it, but it'll be in the description because we did kind of mention it. But we would just want to we just want to show respect. When I die, I don't want nobody doing any giveaways because I'll come back and hunt that person. That's just me. But anyway, we are having a giveaway, which we explained on the last episode. So if you really want to know what the giveaway is, go look at the episode. If you don't want to do that, you could just follow us on Instagram, TheyFiredUs, and you'll see the giveaway in our Insta stories by the time this video is out. So, and it'll also be in the description, so you can look and check that out as well.
Yes, man. Just like we always say, peace, tranquility. Roll up the weed and get high, man. I am once again one half of this great team. I go by the name of Desmond Bonet.
My name is Finding Forever.
Okay. This is episode
12.
12. Episode 12, man. Episode 12 brought to you by the Blue Light Lounge. This was They Fired Us, man.
Peace, be safe, love yourself, love others. One love.